Hi guys, this is Veerashankara. So today let's talk about how to produce a JSON and XML in the REST API response. So there could be some scenarios when you're working for any banking application. So you wanted to produce or consume the XML. Basically, the banking applications are the legacy. So they might produce XML or they might consume the only XML or in some cases JSON. So how do you produce the XML response in the REST API? So I'm going to show you the live demo, how we are going to produce both XML and JSON. Let's say I have a multiple consumers who is going to consume my REST APIs. So let's say some of the consumers, they might be expecting the JSON format, and some of the consumers, they might be expecting the XML format. So how we can produce the multiple formats? So let me show you the demo directly so that you will understand better how to produce that. So this is my controller. I have a couple of endpoints. You can see, let's take an example for this particular get endpoint. So I have a get mapping. So we have a property called producers where we can specify what is the format that you wanted to produce. We have a media type. So basically the producer format. So I'm going to specify both the formats. One is the application JSON value and application XML value, so that we can produce both JSON and the XML format. So this is the first step. So if you want to produce both XML and JSON, so we have to specify the media type as the XML value. And the second step, if you are using Maven or Gradle build tool, so we have to add a dependency called JSON data format XML in order to produce the XML format. So we have to add this particular dependency. So that's the JSON data format XML. So this is the second step. So now, so we have a couple of other annotations. So those are optional. Since we are going to produce the response as a XML format, assume that you wanted to have your own custom tags. So we can also add a couple of other annotations. So for now, let's not worry about what XML tag we are going to get in the output. For now, let's run this particular application and see where we can specify in our API client tool to specify whether it is a XML or JSON format. So my application is already running. I have a Postman. So in the Postman, I have a get endpoint. So this is the endpoint. My application is running on 9001 port. So I wanted to get basically the customer details for the given account number. So here we have a couple of headers. So we have two things here. So every REST API basically will have a request headers and request body, and response headers and response body. So in the request headers, so I'm going to specify what is the content type. So we now need to worry about this content type. So this basically what content that you are going to pass it. And since we wanted to produce the XML format, we will have to specify the accept. So accept, which indicates what kind of a format that you are going to accept as the response. So now click on send. So now you can see here, we are getting the response as the XML format. So if you see, the first XML tag is the customer response. So that is our parent tag or root tag. And so inside that, we have a couple of other tags like a name, address, account type, and account number. These are all the child tags inside the customer response. Now, if you go back to the code and see the customer response class, how it looks like. So now we can see here. So this is the customer response class. And we have a couple of fields like a name, address, account type, and account number. So these are all the child elements. So if at all, if you want to have your own name for this particular customer response tag, so you can also specify as @XML root element, because this is going to be our root element, right? And you can specify the name, the element name. Let's say I want to just specify customer, right? So you can also give the name as the customer. Now, if you restart the application and again retest it, so the root element should be the customer, and we have the other four child parameters or the child XML tags. So yeah, application is started. Let's test it now. Oh, still we are getting the, we are not getting what we are expecting. Let's do one thing. Let's build this application and test it again. So I'm going to build it. So now the application build is going on here. Yeah, so now the build is successful. So now run the application again. Yeah, so now the application is started. Let's retest again. Okay, still we are not getting the root tag. Let's change this root element. Let's see what else we have. We have a namespace and we have a name. So let's rerun and test it. Okay, so it is started. Still not working. Let's see what happened. Let's add the new header, accept. So since we are going to produce the application /XML, we will have to specify the application /XML. So still we're not getting what we are expecting here. So let's see what is that we are missing. XML root element. Let's restart the application. So since we use the JSON and XML, could be we have to specify the JSON and XML root. So now the application is started. Yeah, so now you can see here, we are getting the tag as a customer. That's a root tag, the root XML element, and all the child tags remain same. So this is how basically we produce the XML response. So hope you remember the steps. The step one, basically we will have to add a dependency as the JSON data format XML. The second thing in our controller, so wherever we are writing annotation for an endpoint, we will have to specify produces what are the formats that we wanted to produce, whether it is a JSON or XML. By default, in SpringBoot REST API, it produces the JSON format. Since we wanted to allow the XML, I'm just adding the XML also in the response. And in the request header, we will have to specify the accept as application/XML so that we will get the XML format. Assume that one of the consumer is going to consume this application and wanted to consume only the JSON format. Then just change the accept as application/JSON so that we will get the response as a JSON format. So let's change it back again and again send it. So we get the XML response. Hope you guys are understand. So if you like this video, please do subscribe.